super traders, welcome back to SuperTraderTV's London Market Action. Right now we are 7 minutes in today's London market action, and I want to hear from you. What are we going to start with?
Okay, we have great opportunities. As I told you, we may have both long-term and short-term opportunities, especially on the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. This is our market outlook panel. Of course, everything here is extremely bullish, but the minor trend is sideways. And why is that? We had a sharp up downward movement yesterday. We hit
By the US dollar, you mean?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, we saw a very sharp upward movement by the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar during the last few months. But yesterday we had a sharp downward movement. We saw a correction, immediate correction from 128 to 124, around 400 pips in just one day, presenting a very sharp movement, high volatility. And now we are sitting exactly in the middle of the range between yesterday and today's trading activity. That's why we are on the sideways, on the 50% of the movement. And this is the point where we may see further strengthening activity by the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. And of course, we have catalyst, or we have a momentum for downward movement from yesterday. And this is one of the pairs that are the most overbought pair in the market. And that's why I'm emphasizing this pair. I would like to focus on Canadian dollar, as we are expecting that Canadian dollar will strengthen over the long run, from the intermediate to the long-term time frame. Between 3 months to 1 year, we are going to see it in much higher price levels.
So actually what we're saying, that although we have a bottom line here that says that the US dollar is bullish versus the Canadian dollar, we're going to trade it to the opposite side, to the other side, of course. We're going to take the US dollar downside versus the Canadian dollar. As Yaron mentioned, right now the US dollar is expected to depreciate versus this currency, of course.
Exactly. We have a key driver for depreciation, and it's going to change the picture, the minor picture, or we have a big picture. Of course, this asset is very bullish, extremely bullish, that we have upward trend.
As the big picture, looking at everything.
Correct.
The economy is one versus the other.
The economies and the technical analysis measurements, or the price trend, the price action, the price movements present extremely bullish picture during the last year, at least during the last year and more than the last year.
In favor of the US dollar, of course, yes.
And now we are going to have a major correction. Actually, I'm expecting at least between 2 to 4% correction.
Wow.
It's going to happen soon, and we are going to take the advantage.
Great. So right now we're 10 minutes in the London session. Do we have right now the opportunity to start trading with this asset?
Absolutely. For the long term, we're going to take it now. Long term means to the upcoming days, weeks, months, and so on. So I would like to take at least 2 positions in favor of Canadian dollar and start accumulating again versus the US dollar. Let's start with the long term.
Okay, so going over, first of all, shifting to our trading platform so we can start to trade. As Yaron mentioned, for this currencies pair, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, we're going to trade with the long-term product. And of course, the next step is choosing the asset. And of course, you mentioned that you think this opportunity is going to be till the end of the week. So what is the expiry we're going to use?
I would like to take 3 expiries right now.
Sure.
I would like to take it until the end of the week, until tomorrow evening. It's perfect. This is the right timing. Now let's go to the amounts and see how much we are willing to risk.
Okay, uploading our money management, of course, looking at the probability of success and comparing it with the product that we're using and thinking how much in this trade is the right amount to invest.
Okay, we are in the long-term product. For the long-term product, we have the long-term product row presents the risk levels that we are willing to take. The minimum amount that we are willing to take, or our basic investment per trade, is $75 US. Here we have more than 75% success, or more than 75% 75 probability of success that we are going to end up in the money, as 4 out of my 5 indicators suggest that we are on the right timing to take it to the downside. I'm going to take a risk of $150.
Nice. $150. This is the amount we're going to invest in this trade. Going back to our trading platform to continue the process trade. Of course, entering $150.
Absolutely. Now, I would like to take, okay, so just
Okay.
finalize the process. And
So again, US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, taking this asset to the downside, clicking on the put button.
Okay, so again, I'm looking at my time optimization panel, at my long-term time frame indicators, and that's why the next 2 positions that we are going to take are long-term as well, and that's why it's the same risk, it's the same strategy, it's the same trade idea, and that's why we are going to stay consistent and take for each and every trade we are going to risk $150. The next one, the next expiry is to the end of this month.
The end of the month, March 31. Oh, we
31st of
yes. We have so many positions to this date.
Yes.
So let's have another one.
Hopefully gold will bounce until then, and we are going to see at least most of our open position in the money. Right now, all of them or most of them are out of the money, but we have a very bullish bias on gold. And we still have time until the end of this month.
Okay, so our next expiry, as Yaron mentioned, as you saw, is the end of the month, March 31. We are going to enter here as well $150. And I'm assuming same direction, US dollar versus Canadian dollar.
Correct.
To the downside.
Correct.
Okay, taking the trade.
And the last one.
And the last one.
April 30.
Wow, this is a very long trade. I mean,
it's more than 1 month from now, and it's fine. I think that if I would have more expiries, I would take this trade until the end of the second quarter, which is the perfect expiry for this particular asset.
Okay, same amount, $150?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And of course, same amount, same asset, same direction. So we took the advantage of trading against the US dollar today, but you mentioned 2 more assets.
Aussie.
Yeah,
Aussie versus US dollar. Let's go
Okay.
over the panel and the direction forecast panel for Aussie versus the US dollar. Here it's the opposite picture, as the Aussie is the base currency and the US dollar is the quote currency. That's why we are looking for call position.
In favor of the Australian dollar.
Correct.
Don't be confused.
It's carry trade, but it's a temporary carry trade. Here, again, it's bearish. Everything is extremely bearish, but the minor trend is sideways. It's the same picture like the Canadian dollar. Of course, it's the negative picture of the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, as the US dollar is the base currency in the first asset, and now it's the quote currency, and that's why it's the reverse picture. The only thing that equals in this picture is the minor trend, which is sideways in both of the assets because of the sharp movement caused by the FOMC yesterday, and I'm expecting a rebound on this currency as well, or this asset as well. It's the same strategy. The only we have minor differences. Here, it's more the decision is taken because of the interest rate differences, high yield currency versus low yield currency. The previous one was based on the Canadian dollar expected strengthening after the last depreciation. It was extremely overbought. And this is the point that which Canadian dollar should correct.
Okay, so right now, do we have the opportunity to
Yes.
start trading with this
Yes,
asset as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Aussie versus US dollar. But here we are going to take only one position, and I'm not sure about the future of this asset.
As we know, the Australian economy is much weaker than the US economy as well.
Yes, absolutely. But here the carry trade is the actual fact that present buying opportunity, but only momentum-wise.
Okay.
So the momentum until the end of this week is fine. After the end of the week, I wouldn't bet on Aussie versus US dollar call positions.
So
Until the
just
end of
till
the week.
tomorrow, okay.
Yes.
Let's go once again to our trading platform. As Ron mentioned, we are going to use the long-term product in this trade, but we're going to take it till tomorrow. This is going to be the last expiry, the longest
Correct.
expiry for this
Correct.
trade. So starting with the asset, here it is.
Now here, no, this one, the Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin.
And of
Shall
course,
we trade the Bitcoin? No, it's more speculative activity.
it's
The
more
Bitcoin-
speculative
Yeah.
activity. Right now, we already have the expiry in, as we can see, the March 20th. And right now, we're going to talk about the amount we're going to invest.
It's the same.
Same amount?
Same amount as we have the same strategy, the same trading activity, the same risk management, the same product, and we should be consistent with our risk exposure in order to measure our performance. 150 is the right risk level.
Okay, $150, this is the amount we're going to invest. And as Yaron mentioned, although right now we're trading against the US dollar, in this trade, in this asset, we're going to take the currency pair to the upside in favor of the Australian dollar.
76%
Payout.
payout.
Yeah, it's relatively high. It's good.
It's good. I like it.
Okay.
Now we have we can see that the US dollar is strengthening during the first minutes of the London session. It is strengthening, but it's good because it's going to present us a short-term opportunity as well, mainly versus the Aussie. So let's keep this asset and trade it on the short term to the upcoming hours.
Binary options.
Binary options, as we are extended to the downside here, we are oversold, we are below the average, we are undervalued, and this is the point usually when I'm looking for intraday trades, intraday market measures, extended market measures in order to take a correction position. This is the time to look for upward movement.
Okay, so as Yaron mentioned, we also have an opportunity to trade with the US dollar versus the Australian dollar in the short term during today's trading session. So we're going to shift to binary options. This is the product we're going to use. Once again, choosing the same asset, Australian dollar versus US dollar.
We have acceleration in the movement. We can see that the US dollar is strengthening, further strengthening against all of its major counterparts. It is almost pairing the entire losses from yesterday. It's a great point to take upward movement or call position. It's
Okay.
a great point.
So what is the expiry? We have many expiries that we can choose
Okay,
from.
so we take it to. I would like to take it to 10. 10 is the perfect expiry for this trade. We may see further downward movement, but it will fail. We are sitting in a very strong support level, and that's why I would like to take it to 10
a.m. of course, GMT.
GMT time, which is by then I'm expecting that the market prices will be in much higher price levels.
Okay, and
Let's
of
go.
course the question is going to be the last one: how much we're going to invest in this trade?
Okay, usually when we are trading a short-term time frame, intraday we are increasing the number of occurrences, and we are reducing the risk exposure for each and every trade. The minimum amount under our money management system is currently $50, and that's what I'm willing to risk here.
Okay, $50 in this trade. Once again, same direction, same asset. We're trading the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, taking this asset to the upside in favor of the Australian dollar.
Correct. And we have another one for the short-term time frame. Amazingly, the euro is crashing against the US dollar, reaching to 106.500, which is more than 350 pips from the
Wow.
peak, from yesterday's peak. It's amazing. High volatility is dominating, and the volatility is dominating in the market right now. We have high volatility measurements. The market is moving sharply, and this is the exact point to take it to the upside.
Okay,
Euro versus US dollar. Yeah.
In favor of the euro. Amazing.
Yes. Take a look at the sharp downward movement. Let's start with 830.
Okay, which is already placed in.
Yeah, we have to be very fast right now.
Okay.
50.
50 once again, this asset to the upside in favor of the euro.
Correct. Now let's take all the upcoming expiries in order to divide our risk. 845, 9, 915, and 10. All of them presents a buying opportunity or call position opportunity, as we are extremely extended to the downside, and this is the point where I'm expecting an upward movement or temporary correction. It's going to happen in the upcoming hours.
Should I take it till the end of the day as well, or
no.
This is going to be our last expiry?
It's extremely extended right now to the downside, and that's why we are looking for immediate buying opportunity. I wouldn't bet on euro versus the US dollar, as euro is very weak, and that's why I wouldn't take it further to the long term or
just
until
taking
the end of
moment right now, the upcoming hours.
The upcoming hours, and usually here we may see a correction, immediate correction. All of them are in the money. The Australian dollar should come in the money as well, as we had extremely extended market measurements present a great buying opportunity with more than 90% success. We are going to see these positions in the money.
Great. So right now we have 5 more minutes before we need to wrap up today's London session. And of course, my question is going to be, Yaron, do we have another opportunity that we want to trade with?
We have 2 more opportunities.
2 more opportunities?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
1 index and 1 commodity.
Okay, let me think about it. If you're talking about commodities, and we mentioned that we're bullish today on gold, I'm assuming that we're going to trade gold to the upside.
Correct.
And if Yaron mentioned that we're going to trade with indexes, and we also mentioned that we're expecting the US main indexes to reach new highs, so I'm assuming S&P 500 or NASDAQ is going to be a friend of yours today. Both of them. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with commodities. Let's start talking about gold. If we're going to trade gold, which product we're going to use?
We are going to use the long term.
Okay, why is that?
As I explained previously, I'm expecting gold prices to hit at least 1,300 in the next during the second quarter of 2015, and that's why I would like to increase my risk exposure to the intermediate term.
Okay, sounds reasonable. I'm with you. So we're going to choose the long-term product, and of course, to choose the asset, we need to shift to commodities. Choosing gold from the list, and now what is the expiry that we're going to choose for this trade?
Okay, few expiries.
Few expiries.
The first one is the 31st of March, which is the magical date.
The magical date.
Yes.
It's going to be so interesting date for us.
Okay, so because of the last depreciation by gold, and because of the fact that we are sitting around a very strong support level, our probability of success here is more than 75% success, present the same risk amount like US dollar versus Canadian dollar and Aussie versus US dollar trading activity, 150 US dollars.
That's right, it's
worked. We have to remain consistent.
Okay, 150 US dollars in this trade. Once again, we are trading right now gold, and we are bullish on gold. Therefore, we are going to take this asset to the upside.
Now I would like to take 2 more expiries.
Okay.
The first one, April 13.
13. Do you want to explain 30th. Why?
April 30. Again, I'm expecting that the US market will will have a sharp correction during the second quarter of 2015, and that's why gold will serve as a safe asset, haven assets, and that's why we are going to see this commodity moving up sharply.
Okay, same amount, 150 US dollars?
Correct.
Okay, same amount.
Correct.
And of course, same asset, same direction, taking gold to the upside.
Okay, now The last one.
The last expiry?
Yeah, the last expiry to June 30.
Wow.
30 of June. This is the last day of the second quarter of 2015. I wouldn't predict more than second quarter market measures, and that's why it will be the last
expiry
time for gold. And we are going to take again $150. This is the risk level that I'm willing to take.
Okay. $100 US dollars. Again, last expiry, gold to the upside. And right now for our final, you don't want to trade with the S&P 500?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you do. Okay. So to our final trade for today, S&P 500.
Correct. When we have opportunity, we take it both hands.
I'm with
you.
you.
So you can take Nasdaq and S&P, depends which one you have. Binary option first.
Binary options, because we want to take disadvantages to today trading sessions.
Yeah, until the end of the day, of course.
Okay, so of course, shifting to indexes. Let's see what we have. I think we have even both.
So
S&P futures and Nasdaq.
Both.
Okay. Starting with the S&P 500 futures, 7 p.m. GMT is a good expiry time.
Yes, it's perfect.
And as we mentioned today, we're increasing the amounts of the trades that we're taking, and therefore we're investing only $50 US, which is the minimum amount of trades in binary options.
Yes.
Okay. Up.
Up.
S&P 500. Advance.
One-way ticket.
One-way ticket.
We are going to see fresh new highs soon in the US market, and it's great because of the chance that we are going to see more than 10% correction from the next peak in the US market.
Okay, sounds good. So right now, as you mentioned, we also have an opportunity to take the same trade with the Nasdaq 100. Let's choose it from the list. Almost. And the question is going to be, what is the expiry?
And the expiry at the end of the day, 7 p.m. GMT time, is great.
And same amount, $50 US. Yes. Our last trade for today's London session, of course, Nasdaq 100, we're taking this asset to the upside.
One-way ticket as well.
One-way ticket.
Would you like to see some expiries?
We're going to see it. I think we have
1 to 8:30.
right now. Right now. Okay, let's see. Well, it didn't happen yet.
It expired. Of course, it's one position just expired.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a look. Expired positions. Let's see what we did today.
Yes, euro versus dollar. We took it came in the money. It was a great call. All of the other positions are well in the money. Great. It was the right moment, and that's why I insisted to take all the next expiries 15 minutes after 15 minutes, and all of them are sitting around the positive.
Looks good. Yeah, it looks like everything is going to come out in the money. That was a fun session today, as we had a major event today, actually yesterday in the market, that influenced all other markets and presented very interesting trading opportunities. Right now, I want to talk to you about today's New York session. In today's New York session, we're going to be after major economic events, and we're going to be after the Swiss, hold on, here it is. We're going to be after the Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment and press conference. We're also going to be after the EU economic summit. Are those events are going to influence the market?
Absolutely, yes. I think that Swiss franc may present a buying opportunity and buying or selling opportunity. I don't know yet, but we have to see what would be the monetary policy tone by the S&B and by the policymaker in Switzerland, of course, and it's going to be very interesting. These guys are not my friends yet, but they may be my friends.
They might be. Let's see what's going to be. Breakout is going to be, you think it's going to be our strategy also in today's New York market action?
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Let's see.
Okay, we will.
We have enough, more than enough opportunities today.
Okay, it's a fun day. I like this kind of days. I must say, this kind of days are my friend. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
Thank you as well for joining us today in our London pre-market and market action sessions. If you have any questions or if there is any topic you want us to mention in our live shows, you are more than welcome to write us to info@supertradertv.com. Have a lovely and profitable trading day.